G'day guys, welcome back to another video on the HamFooty channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my round 8 AFL tips predictions. And just before we get started, I'd like to mention that some exciting news coming up. Obviously, me and my mate, we're starting up a channel. Go follow Hazer and D-Train. I'll put it up on the screen right now. Give it a subscribe. We haven't got any videos yet, but basically, me and him are just going to be posting weekly tipping videos, or both of our tipping videos, but rest assured I will still be posting on this channel and making tipping videos. So yeah, that's just what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be doing vlogs as well on that channel and goal kicking competitions, and you know, it's just really fun stuff like that. But yeah, so I'd like to apologise for the somewhat lazy uploads. I've still been uploading just those 2-minute long videos with not any analysis in them, just my tips. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. And yeah, I'll be posting normal videos now. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Just quickly, we'll go through my round 7 tipping results. On the Thursday night, Melbourne got a good win over Richmond. Great to see that. Good tip correct. I was leaning towards Richmond towards the start, but I was like, yeah, these have been all right in the coming weeks, especially after beating Freo the week before, so I tipped them. Collingwood, as expected, on Anzac Day, much better side than the Bombers. Really close game towards half-time, and they ran away with it, so good tip there. Most people tipped in Adelaide for this game for some reason, but I felt like the Dockers too strong at home, and so they were. Tipped Brisbane over St Kilda. Yeah, St Kilda did not look like they were going to play at all, really, and so they didn't. It was from the lines, from the get-go, good response after that. Port Adelaide, tipped Port Adelaide against North, and yeah, great. Good win for Port. Good effort for North Melbourne also. They were really good and unfortunately couldn't get the win. Tipped the Giants, my first incorrect tip of the round. They was really poor against the Dogs and they were just able to run away with it. So probably, hopefully, for their sake, they can bounce back next week. Suns, really good win over Sydney after Sydney choke a huge lead and they got a big healthy win over them. Tipped the Cats over the Blues, did not get that tip right. Carlton just played brilliant, out of their skins, and one of the best performances I've seen for the 2025 season for the Blues. And tipped Hawks in a no-brainer against the Eagles, which they did not show up at all. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the tipping. To kick us off on Thursday night footy, you got quite an odd fixture, Essendon and North Melbourne at Marvel Stadium. Now this game, quite odd to have these two on a Thursday night fixture. I thought it'd be something better, but I guess just throwing we got. Quite odd seeing North Melbourne have a prime time slot. Obviously both teams haven't been great. Essendon haven't been really consistent of late. They're coming off a loss in the Anzac Day match to Collingwood by 41 points, I think it was. It wasn't great for them. They played really good up until about half time where they actually took the lead, but they couldn't hang on to it, and Collingwood, the better side, just took the better of them. On the other hand, for North Melbourne, they came off they played some really good footy against Port Adelaide. They came off a loss, unfortunately, by 9 points. I feel like, yeah, for them at the end, like towards the end, they kicked a lot of behinds and chances went begging for them. So I feel like if they just took their chances, they would have won that game. But oh well, North Melbourne is a very young club. They're going to make mistakes, so give them the benefit of the doubt for that one. But they played really good footy. Now this game could actually be really a good game. Like most people think Essendon would smash them, but I think in recent times it's been pretty close. Essendon, you have gotten the upper hand on North Melbourne of late, but yeah, this could be a really good game. But for my sake, it's 50-50 almost. North Melbourne, they can definitely win this game, and I'd like to tip them, but I'm just going to be safe here. I'm going to go Essendon to win the game by 3 points. I reckon it'll be an absolute thriller, and actually a surprisingly good Thursday night fixture. So yeah, I'm going to tip Essendon. On the Friday night at Marvel Stadium, we've got St Kilda versus Fremantle, and great game this is set up to be. Obviously, St Kilda, they haven't been great of late. They've lost 3 games in a row now. They came off a big thumping against Brisbane last week. They just lost the game pretty much from the get-go. The Saints, they just couldn't get in front or anything like that. They trailed the entire game and they just didn't look up to it, which is fair enough. Personally, against a really good reigning Premier side who came off a huge loss in the week before, so you probably expect them to bounce back there. On the other hand, for Freo, they came off a pretty good win at Optus against the Crows, and they've been a really confusing team this season. They lost like one of the last rounds to Melbourne, which wasn't a great look for them. They've just been really, it was like a bit of a roller coaster. They just win really good games against good sides and then just lose against really poor sides. It's kind of weird. But in this one, I don't know, Saints haven't been in great form, but they play really good footy at Marvel. Jack Higgins is actually leading the Coleman for St Kilda at the moment, so he's an absolute fire starter. If he can get up and going, I think Saints every chance of winning this game. But I feel like Fremantle are slightly better opposition and plays pretty good games of footy at Marvel, especially against St Kilda, where it's usually close and low scoring. But yeah, I'm going to go to Freo here. I'm going to tip them by 11 points. I just reckon it'll be a good game close up, and I reckon the Saints will really bring it to them and not make it easy for them. Kicking off the Saturday games, we've got Western Bulldogs taking on Port Adelaide at Mars Stadium in Ballarat. Now, yeah, I can only really see it going one way here. Western Bulldogs obviously coming off a far out. Oh, that's right. They're coming off a really good win against the Giants. Sorry, I had a bit of a brain fart there. Anyways, but they came off a really good win against the Giants. They just played really good football. I didn't watch too much of it, but the Dogs still a much better side, and the Giants went up to it. So a great win on the behalf, and the Bulldogs could really climb. And on the other hand, Port Adelaide coming off a not so convincing win against North Melbourne at their home ground, Adelaide Oval, where they do play good footy at, some of their best footy actually. But yeah, obviously coming into this game, Port Adelaide, I don't think they've ever played at Mars Stadium, maybe once before, but I don't really remember. But they haven't played there in a while, and the Bulldogs obviously play there, 2 times a season, 1 time a season, and they know what to expect out there. So I reckon, it depends on the conditions. It's usually really windy out there or really wet, but we'll have to see. But I'm tipping the Bulldogs here to be safe, obviously. Home ground advantage, play at Ballarat every year, and they're pretty good at it. They beat the Giants in convincing form last year, yeah. But yeah, I'm going to tip the Dogs here. I'm going to tip the Dogs by 27 points. I just think they're the much better side out of Port Adelaide, and obviously coming at Mars Stadium, I just can't really see Port Adelaide winning it. Next up on the Saturday afternoon twilight time slot, we've got the Adelaide Crows taking on Carlton at the Adelaide Oval. Now this game, it looks like Adelaide should win this, but I don't know. Carlton coming off a really good win against Geelong, against a really good Geelong side. So I feel like the Blues, the lid might be off. But I don't know. We'll have to see. But Adelaide, obviously, they came off a pretty poor loss to Freo. It was kind of just the loss in the get-go as well, same scenario. They did fight back a bit, but Fremantle were able to just control the game, and obviously it packed out Optus Stadium for the Anzac round. They weren't really going to win it. But yeah, interesting game here. Adelaide play really good footy at Adelaide Oval, and usually when you come and versus Adelaide here, you usually have to put up a really good fight and play 4 strong quarters to win the game. But I don't know, I feel like Carlton, it's been a really weird season. I feel like Carlton can upset there, and I'm going to tip Carlton. It might be a bold call. I'm going to look absolutely stupid if I get this wrong, but honestly, I rate it. I'm going to tip the Blues in a really close one, in a really tight shocker. I'm going to go the Blues to win it by 5 points. They're just a game you can pinch. They just looked really good last week, and I feel like Michael Voss and his Blues might have something plotting here. I don't know. I could look like an idiot and the Crows could smash him, but I don't know. I'm going for the random upset. I'm going to tip the Baggers. Next up on the Saturday night, we've got one of the best games, if not the best game of the round, the blockbuster, the MCG, Collingwood taking on Geelong Cats. This game is set to be an absolute blockbuster. Some of the best teams in the competition. Obviously, Collingwood sitting on top of the ladder right now, tied with Brisbane for first. Just have a lot more percentage. But yeah, Geelong, also really good form. Unfortunately, they lost to the Blues last week, which wasn't really a great look for them. 18 points it was, and yeah, the Catters. Yeah, it's a really good game coming into this. But I feel like Collingwood though, they're just a really good side at the moment. They're just gelling real together. Both the Dacos brothers superstar. Nick Dacos, I rate him. Obviously, I don't really like him that much as a Brisbane supporter, but I just don't think he's any respect yet. But I reckon he's a really good chance for the Brownlow, and he deserves it if he wins it. But yeah, they've just been a superstar team. Geelong, on the other hand, they've been really good as well, but their form at the G of late hasn't been great, and the Cats have had the upper hand. It's not the Cats, sorry. The Pies have had the upper hand of them of late, except last year the Cats got the better of them at the G. But I feel like the Cats here, the Pies here, should just overrun them. I'm going to tip them by 13 points. I reckon it'll be a really good game of footy, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Cats get up, but yeah, I'm just going to tip the Pies here to be safe. Next up on the Saturday night, also at Optus Stadium in Perth, we've got the West Coast Eagles taking on the D's. Yeah, not really, pretty much a dead rubber game, honestly. Obviously, both teams have been absolutely awful. West Coast easily the worst side of the year so far. And Melbourne haven't been great either. They got a really good win a couple of weeks ago against Fremantle, but they fortunately, actually they've got 2 good wins in a row. They beat Richmond on the Thursday night. It was good to see. So they've got 2 wins under their belt. Coming to Perth though, where West Coast can play good footy there. The last time these two versed here, West Coast smashed them, which is very surprising. But I feel like they're a slightly different West Coast. They're just not as good as they were last year. I think they've dropped off a bit. But I reckon it'll be the D's in a closer game of footy. I'm going to tip the D's by 18 points. They've just, I feel like if they get this win, they can just really get their season back on track. And I feel like game of footy for the most part, but I think the D's should get up here. To kick off the Sunday, we got the Battle of the Bridge at SCG. How good. Sydney taking on the GWS Giants. Obviously, the Battle of the Bridge there. Great game on our shoulders. Sydney coming off a poor loss to... did they lose this round? I'm actually so stumped. Oh yeah, they did. They lost to Gold Coast on the Gold Coast. It was not great. They actually choked a big lead. They were looking really good up until about half time, and then the Suns just took it away from there, and they ended up winning by 30 odd points, which wasn't great for them. And Sydney have just been really poor form at the moment. I just feel like they've just been really fumbling and sloppy around the ball, and I just don't think they're the greatest side at the moment. I can definitely see them getting back on top soon. Obviously, Dean Cox, a lot of work to do as a new coach, and always going to be pressure on him. GWS Giants, on the other hand, a poor loss to the Bulldogs, at the Monica Oval. Yeah, it was just, the Giants have been really poor of late, and they just didn't look great in that game, and the Bulldogs just took upper hand on them. They fought back a bit late, but it was too late for them. But talking about this game though, I don't know, I feel like the Giants, they know this ground really well, and obviously they've had the upper hand in the derbies at the SCG and stuff like that, so I'll give every chance for both sides to win here. But I'm going to take the Giants in a really close one. Game of the round, I'm going to hit the Giants by 2 points. I reckon it'll be an absolute thriller and be one of the best battle of the bridges of all time. Next up on the 3:20 PM time slot, Sunday afternoon at the G, we've got Hawthorn taking on Richmond. Pretty straightforward tip here. Obviously, Hawthorn coming off a big win over West Coast. Never looked like they were going to be anywhere in that West Coast, so Hawthorn got a nice win, especially after their slightly poor form that they've been in the past couple of weeks. Richmond on the other hand, they played some pretty competitive footy against the D's, but just weren't able to get it done. They've actually been a lot better than what people were thinking, so good on the Tigers for that. But unfortunately for them, I don't think they'll have any chance of beating Hawthorn here. They just want to come in and get a nice percentage boost for the Hawks. I'm going to tip Hawthorn by 46 points. I don't reckon it'll be an absolute flogging, but Hawthorn should just get the upper hand of them and win in comfortable fashion. So I'm going to tip the Hawks. Finish off the round, Q Clash at the Gabba. We've got Brisbane Lions taking on the Gold Coast Suns at the Gabba, obviously, as I said before. But this game is set up to be one of the best Q Clashes of all time, obviously. Usually it's just been Brisbane an easy win every single year. And this time it's not looking like that. The Gold Coast Suns have been really, really good, and they're currently sitting third on the ladder. And they've just been a really good side. Damien Hardwick has built them into a really strong, tough, finals contending side. And it's great to see from the Suns, especially the history they've had of being completely dog shit. But Brisbane to start with, came off a really good response win against St Kilda, where they won by 45 points. Biggest win of the season for them so far. And great to see as a Brisbane supporter. So good response after that Collingwood loss. So Eric Hipwood, brilliant again. Logan Morris, all contributing. Charlie Cameron, though, has been a bit of a worry. 4 behinds, and yeah, not great to see, but I don't think he should be jobbing. He's been playing a good role. He's been setting up goals, and he's been really quick around the footy, so I don't see him getting dropped anytime soon. Kai Lomman, obviously really disappointing to see him go out again with injury. It was, yeah, he tweaked his ankle, and no, not his ankle, sorry, he did his shoulder or something like that. Not great to see. He had a really tough run. But yeah, on the other hand, Gold Coast coming off a really good fight back win against the Swans. Honestly, the best I've ever seen Gold Coast play, so worries me as a Lions fan, but even better, sets up an absolute ripping Q clash. Now on this one, it's so hard to tip. I reckon, I don't know, I'd like to back my Lions in. I'd also like to back the Suns in as well, but it's just 2 great teams, but I feel like I'm just going to stick true to my heart. I'm going to this game as well. I might get a vlog out for it, but yeah, I'm going to take the Lions in a really good game of footy. I'm going to take the Lions in a really close one by 7 points. I just think, you know, they've been a bit shaky, but I feel like we'll have a really good win and run away with it in the end against a good quality Gold Coast side. One of the best Q clashes ever. So yeah, I'm going to take the Lions in this one. Anyway guys, that was the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me. And yeah, as I said before, the Hawthorn D-Train channel, or me and my mate are going to be doing vlogs, tipping videos, and all sorts of fun stuff like that on that channel. So go check it out. I'll put the channel link in the description rather. But yeah, without wasting any more guys' time, have a great day, and see you in the next video.